November 14th, 2021. It was a Sunday. I was in the middle of getting my skydiving license, so I just wanted to get some more jumps in. So I did a first jump and everything went great. I decided I wanted to do one more jump for the day. Everything was normal. I jumped out, I did my drills, and then I pulled my parachute, the pilot chute, which is like the small canopy that pulls out the main canopy. That got tangled around my right leg. So it was just free falling. I couldn't get it off, and then before I knew it, my reserve AAD fired, but when it did, it kind of jolted the main parachute, the main canopy out of the bag finally. And then they went into this rare malfunction where both are out, so the reserve and the main are out, and then they dragged away from each other. So then that kind of left me spiraling and more accelerated into the ground. I hit the ground, so I was like, maybe I broke my leg or something like that. So I tried to push myself up off the ground, and I couldn't move anything below my waist. And I had landed kind of far away from the actual area where everybody else was landing. So there was no one around me. So then I was just laying on the ground, like screaming and praying and screaming and praying. And at that point, I was just praying that I wasn't paralyzed. But then I heard the whir of the helicopter. The Nightingale landed, and I was like, that must be for me. So it was, and they came over and got flown to Norfolk General in Norfolk, and that's where my month-long hospital journey began. So when I landed, I broke the fall, I guess pun intended, with my leg, my tibia, and then when I fell back, the force broke a whole bunch of vertebrae in my back. And one of the vertebrae was called a burst fracture, and it kind of just disintegrates, and it crushed my spinal cord. So that's why I couldn't move anything below my waist. And I couldn't move anything below my waist for about a month. And still to this day, I can't feel much on this side, and I still have a lot of internal complications from the spinal cord. And then real recovery began. Lots of physical therapy. I just worked on regaining my strength over the last year and a half. Before my accident, my goal was to climb to Mount Everest Base Camp. I was actually supposed to leave November 17th, but my accident was on the 14th. So I didn't quite make it. So when I was in the hospital, I told them, I'm gonna go this next November. And they're like, we don't even know if you're gonna walk again. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be walking within 3 months, I guarantee you. And 3 months to the day, I started walking. For the most part, I remained really optimistic and positive and determined. I honestly didn't feel like I had another choice. When you're in that situation, you kind of have two choices. You can either face your challenges and work to get over it, or you can give up and lose sight of everything that you wanted to do. And that really was never an option for me. This really put life into perspective, how quickly your life can change. I had an outpouring of support and love. I could just cry thinking about all of the support that I had from family, friends I hadn't seen or spoken to in years. There have been so many blessings that have come out of this accident, and one of them for sure is reconnecting with people from my past. Hearing from past, classmates and sorority sisters, it felt like that old vibe again, the Longwood family. I made lifelong friends at Longwood for sure. It was really nice to hear that they still care. I'd say to somebody who's going through a similar experience as far as injuries, or even not similar injuries or circumstance, but just going through a really hard time where it's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Take it one day at a time and celebrate all of the little wins along the way. I think that staying optimistic and staying positive was huge for me. Like, even if I didn't necessarily know if I would walk again, like, I just had it in my head, like, this is what I'm gonna do. No matter what, nothing's gonna get in my way and I will find a way. Then I went to Mount Everest this last November. So I actually was climbing on November 14th. So it was really special. I went to Nepal by myself. When I got to base camp, I just had this moment by myself where I just thought, there was at one point I questioned whether I would ever be able to do this, and I can't believe it's finally here. When times got hard, I thought of the people that I've met along this journey who have my same injury or similar injuries and who are paralyzed for life. And that's what kept me going, really. I'm really happy I got to do it.